Okay, H.L. DeVore here doing a little bit of late night score keeping attempt unofficially. This is just for myself, but maybe something here will be instructful. So I'm over here at the Bermuda Race website, and down here on the official notice board, I'm downloading here the Smart Scoring Sheet, and I have downloaded that, and let's go see it here. So here it is, and it has some instructions here for how to operate this spreadsheet. It's the ORR Performance Curve Scoring System is pretty cool. It may seem daunting to some people, but it is an attempt to be a VPP and be very fair. That's a velocity prediction program. I won't get too much into that. But what these instructions here say is, for one thing, you've got to turn on, you can read it over yourself, is you've got to turn on macros. So that's for me here in Office, the latest version of Office. I go to File, I go to Options, I go to Trust Center here, I go to Trust Center Settings, I click on Macro Settings over here, and then I say Enable All Macros here, which is enabling macros is allowing a little program to run, which is why it says not recommended and potentially dangerous. You need to trust the person whom you're getting this from, and in this instance that would be the Bermuda Race and ORR specifically. So I say OK, I say OK, and now I'm pretty much ready to follow the instructions here. It tells me, key in my race distance for the Bermuda Race here, it's 635 miles, and then it tells me to go to these columns to put in the finished days, hours, minutes, and seconds for each boat. And then once done with that, I click on Performance Perf Curve Scoring. When I click on that, the macro runs. Now, not this here. I'm going to click on it over here in the spreadsheet. I'll just show you where that is here. Click home there. This button over here, we'll be clicking on that. It looks the same as the one in the instructions. You're going to end up clicking on that. But back over here to the README. Each boat has its own scratch. Do not compare corrected times. That's a very important warning. This is really running just for the classes. AD through AG, I don't think that column reference is actually the right column reference. I believe it is AA through AD. And I have already been working on this a little bit. I'm going to update it here in just a few minutes, and you're going to get to watch me do that. I'm going to do a little fancy update. Yeah, so this is the class that I've been updating, which has the mud rats on Dreamcatcher in that class. Also, my friends on the J40 Misty, and a friend or two here over on Froya, specifically Frank Bolin navigating. So I've highlighted those cells myself. Okay, I don't need to comment on that right now. Let's see what I want to do here. So back over to the README. Yeah, it's not AD through AG. It will be getting entered in AA through AD. Oh, and the start time. Let's go find that. Start time. Where's that start time? Someplace I needed to have entered in the start time. Okay, I saved you watching me scratching my head here, and I've identified the start time columns are U, V, W, and X. 0 for the days, and then the hours, minutes, and seconds are all the same for every boat in the class. In this instance, this class, Class 5 of the St. David's Lighthouse, started at 1:40 Eastern Daylight Time, and so that 1340 is entered there in that column. Okay, so let's go over here back to the README. We'll take a look here, making sure we're all set. Right, results produced by this spreadsheet are not official. Important warning. Okay, I guess I'm ready for you to watch me take an effort at doing this. A couple of these tabs here down here that you see I've added. I think the spreadsheet we need to download it just has README and Score. These were notes I was making to myself. So I'm going to go over here to Score, and I want to get some new times pasted into this section here to update and see who's going to be 1, 2, and 3 for this St. David's Lighthouse. So here's what I'm doing, which is probably a little bit overly complicated, frankly, but it spares me looking and typing data. All right, so it is 11:33. I am just going to go over here to SDL5, right from start, from recent, from start. Would just like to make sure that these times, last position received. See, it's still. Oh right, yeah, 23:30. That is the correct time. It is 11:30 p.m. East Coast time, so 23:30. Okay, so I'm good. SDL5 from start. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually scrape this HTML off this page. I've made my mouse turn into a cursor over here. I'm clicking and oops. Made my mouse turn into a cursor. I'm clicking. I'm selecting. I'm clicking and holding. I'm going and I'm grabbing all that HTML text. Now I'm saying Control C to copy it back over to the spreadsheet. I said from start 2400. That's actually not right. Control V to paste it. That was wrong. That did not work. We'll go back. All this I'm doing just to avoid typing a bunch of numbers. But there may be a little Excel lesson in here for somebody who wants it. Control C. Okay, that time I got it. I go here and I paste. All right, and all that data just went into there. I'm going to make this just accurate now, 23:30. All right, so that's the from start data just pasted into Excel. From start. Okay, I'm going to go get from recent. This is all going to start to make a little bit of sense in a second. If nothing else, again, this might be an Excel little power user lesson. Control C to paste. Back over to here, from recent up to A1. Control V to paste. Okay, now I'm going to start moving. I'm going to try to go pretty high speed here. I'm going to select all. Going up here to the font, changing it to a size 10. I'm going to do that on both tabs. Size 10. Okay, and this is all what I'm doing here is I'm all just trying to get at this time data. I don't want to retype it all. I'm going to select, because I might make a mistake for one reason. Select all. I'm going to unmerge the cells. I'm going to unwrap the text. I'm going to go here to, I'm doing simultaneously both of these spreadsheets, which is why you see me repeating the steps here. Okay, so over to the from start. So here's the time data that I want. It's on a different row than the name of the boat. So here's a little trick. I'm going to go to this cell. I'm going to say equals Freya. And now I'm using shift down arrow. I'm going to paste that formula right on down to the bottom here for all the boats. I'm using Control D to fill down, Control C to copy. Now I'm going to say Alt key HVV. I just used a keyboard shortcut to paste special values. That way there's no formula any longer, and now it actually says Freya in that cell rather than equals B1. Now what I can do is I can go select all that data. All right, and I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut Alt A S S. Yeah, that does spell Alt A S S. Okay, my data header, sort by, column A, sort, and now what I've done is I've sorted it by that new boat name, which you see over there nicely in column A. I'm going to go Alt HDD, that just deleted all that other data, and now I'm down to just the boats and some times over here. This time data, though, is not in the format that I want it to be in, so I'm going to go Alt-D-E. That was text to columns under the data menu, delimited, space delimited. Boom, I broke the data out, but I've got to get rid of the D, H, M, and S. Find, replace, day with nothing, replace all. Yep, there's 15 people in that class. M with nothing, replace all. Oh, yeah. H with nothing, replace all. And S with nothing, replace all. And I have now broken out the data that I want. However, over here the boats are not in the same order that I have them in, so to get this into the right order, what I made a little thing here for myself that listed them in order and gave a number, and I want to put that number next to this stuff and sort it. So I'm just going to go fast, and you can sort of wonder what happens slow down this video if you want to learn a little Excel. So anyways, equals the sum of if that boat name equals one of these boat names, then return that piece of data, otherwise 0, close paren, Control Shift Enter to enter what's called an array formula. Now I'm going to go up here. If I paste that down, these cell references are not locked, so the cells would adjust, and A1 through 15 would turn into, as I'll show you, A1 through 15 is the right formula, A2 through 16 is the wrong formula. So I need to lock those cell references. How do I do that? Oops. How do I do that? I go up here, I jump back into that, and I say F4, put a bunch of $signs in front of all of the cell references. However, I want this one to adjust when I paste it down, so I'm going to remove that $sign, back to Control Shift Enter, and Shift down arrow, and I copied the formula down. It looked up the proper order, Control Alt HVB to paste the values. That was, what did I just do? I do that so fast I don't even know what I did. Shift space bar selects a row. Shift down arrow selects the rows. Alt ASS brings up my sort menu. I say sort by column J, largest to smallest. Boom, now my data is in the right order. I can go grab all my values here, copy, and copy. I go over here to score. I go right here. I say Alt HVB. Yes, I did. I just did that fast. I did Alt HVB. Right. I can go right there. The data shape is the same, so to speak. It's 4 by 15, so Alt HVB. That data went into there. And now, though, the macro has to run, so I need to go back over to here, click on the macro. It has now run. You didn't see that data change, but it has now run. And what it now does is it now shows the potential that the mud rats in Dreamcatcher could be first. Let me grab a screenshot of that. I have a little screenshot program somebody wrote for me. I'm going to grab that, copy that, go over here, send it to somebody who's real interested. What is this? This is 2330 from start, and I pasted that there. And I'm going to send that to that Brandon Flack, the organizer of the Mud Rats. I'm going to go back over here to my sheet. Now, that was the from start data. Did that. let's finish that off real quick here for the from recent equals Froya. Shift down arrow. Control D to fill down. Control C to copy. Alt H V V to paste special values. What was that? A shift spacebar to select the row. Shift down arrow to select all of the rows. Alt ASS to sort the data on column A. Garbage data floats to the top. Shift space bar, shift down arrow, down to where I have my good boat names. Alt HDD to delete the rows. I'm using keyboard shortcuts. These menu items are up there for you to learn. I'm just trying to go fast. Okay, we've got our good data over here. Alt D E. Actually, you know what? I'll just show you. Look, Alt DE is Alt means select the menu, right? D that's interesting. Anyways, Alt. Oh, I'm using an old keyboard shortcut, which still works. It's actually Alt A for data, but Alt D also works. So I'm just click on Data, Text to Columns. So Alt DE brings up that same menu, or Alt A E. They're being kind to me and remembering the old keyboard shortcuts. Delimited, next, space, right, because there's spaces between the data that I want to break apart. I click next, I say finish. It's just overwriting the data that's already there. There's my data. Shift, I did, what did I do? Control space will select a column. Shift, arrow to the right selects all those. Control F to bring up the find and replace menu. And here we go. You've seen this. Replacing and getting rid of the text there so it can be left over with the numeric value to put this in the scores. Okay. Maybe this is boring to some people, but it's also, hey, maybe it's an Excel lesson for somebody. Or I'm not sure what. Okay, so there's the data. What I want to do, I want to go equals the sum of if the boat name equals the boat name with the order reference to get it into the right order, then give me the number ranking, otherwise 0, paren, Control Shift Enter for array formula. Oh, look at that, see, I wasn't paying attention. Whoops, no, I don't want help. I'll just go do it again real quick. Jeez. All right, pay attention, HL. Gosh, okay. Equals the sum of if this equals that, then this, otherwise 0. Yes, I got it right that time. Okay, I'm just going to go lock my cell references. F4. I got to get rid of that $sign. Control Shift Enter again to get it entered. Shift arrow down to paste it, or to paste it down. Control D to actually paste it down. Control C to copy. Alt HVV to paste the values. I think this actually still is faster than entering this data by hand. Otherwise, I would certainly go crazy. Okay, column J, smallest to largest. That data is now in the order that I needed to take it, copy it over to the scoring spreadsheet, get myself over to the right location here. Watch these numbers over here, remember them a little bit because they are going to change, and these numbers are going to change also here. So see the 5 there, I think that changes because we're on the most recent VMG data right now. Alt HVV Yes, it did change. You can see this VS average. I think this is, I'm not sure what that is actually. Here's the implied wind. But so I paste the data in, but remember I've got to go back over here and click on the macro button. So I go and I do that. That macro has now run. I need to get back down to the division I'm looking at. And you can see there where the dream catcher was showing. First, before, in this run of the VMG recent, they're showing as second, about 13 minutes behind, it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to grab that, send that off to this interested party, Mr. Brandon Flack, and reply, or sent mail, right, reply, paste, tell him what it is. He doesn't really need this, but from recent 20, 23, 30. All right. And you can see that one of the things that the ORR BPP system in this performance scoring curve system does is it calculates an implied wind based upon the speed of the boats. I think it picks one of these. I'm not really sure. I haven't broken down how the macro works. And for all that data parsing stuff, by the way, that I did, if I was really going to have that do that over and over again, I suppose I could write a macro, or somebody could write a macro for me to do that. But that's my quick little way of doing it to get to where we are now, and I may redo it in the morning and take a peek. So go Mud Rats. I hope it all works out great for you either way. It looks like you're going to get to go collect some silver at Government House. Hope so. All right. Bye now.